Sure, but first I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Amira Shafika binti Ahmad, 051176. Okay, international negotiation is actually a negotiation between negotiators who does not necessarily share the same mother tongue, or they do not necessarily proceed from the same set of meanings. And international negotiations does not occur between individuals, but also large delegations who are well organized, like for example between countries. International negotiations, you need to bear in mind that people from different cultures, it's easy to offend people from different cultures, because without knowing why, for example using our body language, like our gesture, it may seem innocent to us, like this symbol right here. It may look okay to us, but for them it might offend them. And international negotiations, the rate have been increasing rapidly for the last 20 years, and it's becoming a norm rather than things that occurs occasionally. Okay? Yes? Oh, for your information, there are two overall contexts that can influence international negotiation. First is environment context, and the second one is immediate context. For environment context, it's actually a force that neither negotiators can control. And for immediate context, it's factors that negotiators have some control on. There are 7 factors for environment, and there are 6 for immediate. 5 for immediate. So, in order to go deeper in this context, let's have a seat. On. So, let's start with environment context. So, the first context is international economics. Okay, exchange value of international currencies, they naturally fluctuates. The less stable the currency, meaning greater risk for both parties, and any changes in the value of the currency may affect significantly on the value of agreement. Okay, so the second one is foreign government and bureaucracies. So each country, they differs in the sense of which the government regulates the industries or organizations. Now, let's move on to the third one, which is instability. It takes many forms, such as lack of resources, shortage of goods and services, and also political instability. Instability actually is a challenge for international negotiators to anticipate the changes accurately, and it's hard for them to adjust to their consequences. The fourth one is ideology. So, negotiators from other countries, they do not always share the same ideology, and these clashes in ideology may lead to them disagreeing about the most fundamental of what they are negotiating about. You got it? Okay. The fifth one is culture. So people from different cultures, they may approach negotiations differently, and they may also interpret the most fundamental levels of negotiation differently from each other. Okay? So the last two is stakeholders and political and legal pluralism. Okay? So let's move on to immediate context. Okay, the first immediate context is relative bargaining power. So the negotiators who invest more on equity will have more power, and they can influence more on the outcomes and the processes of negotiation. The second one is level of conflicts. So high-level conflict situations are harder to resolve. For example, those based on ethnicity, identity, and geography. The third context is relationship between negotiators. So the history relation between negotiators, they may and will influence the current negotiations. The current negotiations may become a part of future negotiations. The fourth one is desired outcomes. Countries, they often use international negotiations to achieve both domestic and international political goals. Are you still with me? The last one is immediate stakeholders. So immediate stakeholders, they include the negotiator themselves as well as the people they directly represent. Finish! So I guess that's all from me. Stay safe everyone and be happy always. Yo, Aisa!